Elvis was dead. The papers put out special editions. The telephone switchboards were jammed.
Central offices were overloaded and people could not get dial tone in some offices. They were trying to reach operators, they were trying to reach the radio stations or the television stations or the newspapers, just anybody that they thought might have the story and know what was going on.
Elvis Presley parked his Ford pickup truck outside the Memphis recording service at 706 Union Avenue one hot summer's afternoon in 1953. Sun Records was a local label which sold or leased independently produced R&B masters to major companies at a very small profit. To boost its own economy, the Memphis Recording Service was a lucrative subsidiary which specialized in recording weddings, club meetings, and anyone who wanted to preserve their amateur talent on wax. Running the Memphis Recording Service office was Marion, who had recently left her position of Miss Radio of Memphis in order to collect the $4 the service charged to cut a double-sided 10-inch acetate. Business was always rushed, and so when Elvis Aaron Presley, who was still employed as a $42 a week truck driver for the Crown Electric Company, stopped by one Saturday afternoon, Presley proceeded to perform My Happiness, and That's When Your Heartaches Begin, to his own guitar accompaniment. The procedure for artists was to cut their song straight onto acetate, but on hearing the quality of Presley's unusual voice, Marion somehow managed to get part of My Happiness and all of That's When Your Heartaches Begin onto a discarded piece of recording tape. Clutching his finished acetate, Presley bid Marion goodbye and left for home in his truck to give the record to his mother as a birthday present. Sam C. Phillips was away on business at the time, but on his return, Marion played him the rough tape. Phillips was impressed, but he admitted he had some reservations as to the singer's potential. It was his opinion that this local boy required a lot of grooming if he was ever to amount to anything. However, he did make a note of Presley's address, 462 Alabama Street. On Friday, January 4th, 1954, Presley again dropped by the studio. This time, Marion was out, but Sam Phillips was in. Presley recorded Casual Love and I'll Never Stand in Your Way, and was in and out of the studio within half an hour. Almost 8 months to the day after Presley's initial visit to the Memphis Recording Service, Phillips received a demo of a ballad called Without You, cut in Nashville by an unknown black singer. Phillips liked it and tried all day without success to contact the singer. What about the kid with sideburns, suggested Marion. So, as a last resort, Phillips called up Presley. Studio time was arranged, but the session proved disastrous. Presley failed to come alive with either Without You or another number called Ragmop. During the studio break, Phillips inquired in desperation as to what else Presley could do. And Presley didn't need asking twice. The 18-year-old singing truck driver ran the gauntlet from gospel down to just about everything he knew by his idol, Dean Martin. On Monday, July 6, 1954, Bill Black found himself in the Sun Studios along with Scotty Moore and Presley for what was supposed to be an audition, but what in fact turned into many months of hard sweat, with the audition becoming a full-scale operation to hopefully develop and perfect a distinctive commercial style for young Presley. The very first thing actually taped was the country ballad I Love You Because
you understand. Every single thing I try to do.
During a refreshment break, Elvis Presley grabbed hold of his guitar and played with enthusiasm.
Well, that's all right, Mama. That's all right for you.
Without being prompted, Bill Black picked up the rhythmic bass beat and Scotty Moore joined in with the appropriate guitar licks.
That's all right.
Nobody was quite certain as to what they were doing, but instinctively they all knew it was right.
Fine, man. Well, that's different. That's a pop song now, little bit.
In a flash of inspiration, a finished take had been perfected, and with a distinctive style which was to solidify Elvis Presley's position as rock's first and greatest ever performer.
That's all right, Mama. Just any way you do it, that's all right. That's all right. That's all
The remainder of the session was spent trying to come up with a flip side. Work commenced on Bill Monroe's Blue Moon of Kentucky.
Blue moon of Kentucky, keep on shining. Shine on the one that's gone and left me blue.
Initially, a straight country treatment was applied prior to the song being transformed into a rockin' rockabilly arrangement.
Blue moon, keep shining bright. Blue moon, keep on shining bright. You're gonna bring me back, my baby, tonight. Blue moon.
In a matter of weeks, Elvis, Scotty, and Bill were guesting on Shreveport's Louisiana Hayride.
Elvis Presley, let's give him a nice hand. Elvis, how are you this evening?
Just fine, how you, sir?
You all geared up with your band there? So let us hear your song.
Well, I'd like to tell how happy we are to be down here. It's a real honor for us to get a chance to appear on the Louisiana Hayride. We're going to do a song for you. You got anything else to say?
No, I'm ready.
We're going to do a song for you. We've got on the Sun record. It goes something like this.
Presley received favorable reaction when he played the Hayride, and on the strength of just one guest shot, was given a 12-month contract to appear each week.
Well, to be honest with you, we just stumbled upon it.
We stumbled upon it. Well, you're mighty lucky, you know.
Though regarded by most rockabillys as being both the most important period in Presley's career, and for that matter, rock and roll, the fact remains that Elvis Presley was a Sun recording artist for just 16 months, signing in July 1954 and moving to RCA Victor in November of the following year. Looking back, one can see that it was a time of tremendous creativity, which in due course was to change the entire direction of contemporary popular music.
Well, that's all right, Mama. Blue moon, keep shining bright.
It was Presley's inexperience and total lack of inhibition that allowed him to take such great liberties once given studio time.
When I'm with my baby. Well, I don't care if the sun don't shine. I get my loving in the evening time when I'm with my baby. Well, it ain't no fun when the sun goes round.
Sure, it may sound like the old showbiz cliche, but Presley did sing a song the way he felt it.
Well, I don't care if the sun don't shine. I get my loving in the evening time when I'm with my baby.
Thankfully, his primitive instincts were not smothered, for it must be emphasized that both Scotty Moore and Bill Black's contributions did so much to harness the singer's raw talent and turn it into a unique style. No doubt there were hundreds of other street corner truck drivers like Presley, unknowingly experimenting along similar lines, but it took a talented country boy to accidentally fuse two parallels of American music forms, white country and western, to black blues, and thereafter present it with an acceptable, sensuous visual image. So when the first rock generation did erupt like an angry volcano in the mid-50s, it may have spit out an ill-matched bunch of rebellious soda-jerk outlaws, but Presley was always the universal hero. Hot and nasty, sullen and sexy in action, it appeared that his entire nervous system was centralized 2 foot 6 inches above the stage level. It must be pointed out that the history of Presley's Sun career remains one of the most controversial and secret of all rock legends. As far as we now know, following the initial response of "That's All Right, Mama," the next recording sessions were arranged sometime in September 1954 and produced 2 classic cuts. Good Rockin' Tonight and I Don't Care If the Sun Don't Shine.
Well, I heard the news. That's a good rockin' tonight.
releases, this continued the successful pattern of coupling an R&B standard with a rock country ballad. The next session to produce finished masters was held in December 1954, and 3 songs originated from that date. Sleepy John Estes' Milk Cow Blues Boogie, You're a Heartbreaker, and I'm Left, You're Right, She's Gone.
I can tell that old milk cow with the way she looks. Hold it, fellas. That don't move me. Let's get real gone for a change. Well, I woke up this morning and I looked out the door. I can tell that old milk cow. I can tell the way she looks. Now if you see my milk cow. You're a heartbreaker. You're a my baby's gone, my baby's gone. You're right, and I live all alone. We're right, I'm left, she's gone. You're right, I'm left all alone.
The last 2 cuts, introducing drummer DJ Fontana to the lineup, who had previously been the staff drummer on the Louisiana Hayride. A session in February 1955 was responsible for hardcore rockers, Baby, Let's Play House, and Junior Parker's Mystery Train.
Train I ride, 16 coaches long. Train I ride, 16 coaches.
Another slice of country, I Forgot to Remember to Forget, being from another record date held in July 1955.
I forgot to remember to forget her.
By the time Presley's 5th and final Sun single was released, Mystery Train, the big city music moguls had begun to take more than a passing interest in the heated controversy Presley generated every time he appeared in public. He may not have been selling many records, but he sure was packing in the crowds. In the end, it was RCA Victor's bid of $35,000 plus a $5,000 bonus for Presley, which was accepted. On January 10th, 1956, Elvis Presley recorded Heartbreak Hotel.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. And now, a little song that I have on record, RCA Victor, entitled Heartbreak Hotel.
Him talk. Elvis. Just waiting. Well, now, country and western fans of our Hillbilly Hit Parade, this is an interview we're going to give you here with Elvis Presley. It's taken from the Municipal Auditorium up in Wichita Falls, Texas, where we were last night. Elvis played a big show. I think many of you are familiar with that. In fact, a lot of you were up there. We're going to ask Elvis some questions, let him tell you straight, because I think you get more out of it that way, and I know that each and every one of you are just waiting to hear him talk. Elvis, boy, we want to first ask you how old you are.
I'm 21, sir.
You're 21 years old. Sure, you've got a few months on me, I'll tell you for sure. Tell us, before you got in this music business, what were you doing for yourself?
I was driving a truck.
Driving a truck?
Yeah,
Was that back in Tennessee?
Yeah, I was back in Memphis where I live now. I was trying to say I was learning to be an electrician.
You decided to stick to truck driving, huh?
Well, I was driving a truck and I was studying to be an electrician too, see.
I see, and you got all mixed up in this crazy music business, and that tore the electrician deal all to heck, huh?
Electrician and trucks all up.
Now tell us, how'd you get your first break or to make your first record with Sun Records?
Well, I went into Sun Records and there was a guy in there that took down my name, told me he might call me sometime. So he called me about a year and a half later. I went in and I made my first record, That's Right, Mama.
Yeah, and then from there on, we know a little about what happened, because, boy, those things spun on the turntables like nobody's business. How'd you get your start on the Louisiana hayride? What brought that all about?
I went down there just to try out, more or less. And I went down there once, and I went back again a couple weeks later, and the people, they seemed to kind of go for my songs a little bit, so they gave me a job down there.
So from then on, you was a regular. Yeah. You're not with the hayride anymore, are you?
No, last Saturday night was my last night down there.
Last night with the hayride. How'd you pick up these boys, Scotty and Bill? You known them a long time? They live there around you?
Well, they live in Memphis, but I never knew them until we made our first record.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Well, tell us, what are you doing now? Just making personal appearances around the country? Is that all you're doing?
Yeah, we just touring the country, different place every night.
I got a kick out of that on the hayride last Saturday night, I'll tell you for sure. Well, anything else particularly you want to tell us before we break this little interview up?
Well, I'd like to tell you that I sure appreciate all the spins you've been giving me. You really helped me a lot, and I'd like to tell you how much I appreciate it, and all the wonderful people that have been writing in and buying my records and coming out to their shows, because that's really what makes anybody. Is the people. You make them or break them.
Well, I'll tell you for sure, they sure go for your style, I'll tell you for sure, because we get the cards and letters every day, we play the records, and incidentally, your new album just taking over our Hillbilly Hip Parade. That thing's going like a storm.
That's good, and I'd like to tell you that it's been a pleasure talking to you, and I'll be seeing you again real soon.
We'll be looking forward to it, thank you.
Introduce you to a young fellow who, like many performers, Johnny Ray among them, come up out of nowhere to be overnight very big stars. This young fellow we saw for the first time while making a movie short. We think tonight that he's going to make television history for you. We'd like you to meet him now, Elvis Presley, and here he is.
Well, get out of that kitchen and rattle those pots and pans. Get out of that kitchen and rattle those pots and pans. Well, I know my breakfast cause I'm a hungry man. I believe you're doing me wrong, and now I know. I believe you're doing me wrong, and now I know. Cause the hard I work, the faster the money goes. Well,
that was part of one of the Dorsey stage shows. Elvis appeared on the Dorsey stage shows 6 times before his first appearance on the Ed Sullivan Show. Again on national TV. At that time, the policy was to show Elvis only from the waist up. Here's some excerpts from the Ed Sullivan shows.
Ladies and gentlemen, wow. This is probably the greatest honor that I've ever had in my life. There's not much I can say except it makes you feel good. We want to thank you from the bottom of our heart. And now, you know I can't around, sitting home all alone. You can. Thank you very much. Thank you, ladies. Now, friends, we'd like to introduce you to a brand new song. It's completely different from anything we've ever done. And this is the title of our brand new 20th Century Fox movie. And it's also my newest RCA Victor escape release. And I would like to say right now that the people over 20th Century Fox have really been wonderful. All the great stars in the cast, the director and the producer. This is our first picture, and they really helped us along. With the help of the very wonderful Jordan Ayers, a song called Love Me Tender. Love me tender, love me sweet, never let me go. Thank you very much. Mr. Sullivan, we know that somewhere out there that you're looking at, and all the boys and myself and everybody out here are looking forward to seeing you back on television. And we'll be seeing you October the 28th in New York, and we're back on your show again. Friends, as a great philosopher once said, you ain't like that.
This is Charlie Walker of the Grand Ole Opry in Nashville, Tennessee. When I did this interview, it was early 1956, and I was a disc jockey at KMAC in San Antonio, Texas. And this is Elvis and me talking backstage at the Municipal Auditorium in San Antonio. Well, David, we're still backstage at the Municipal Auditorium here in San Antonio, and it's really a pleasure to get to interview the next artist on our Big Elvis Presley show, because this is the boy that in the last year or so has become the outstanding show business personality in the entire world, not only the United States, but all over the world. This boy, I think, is probably the hottest show business personality in the last 25 years. And we'd like to get him over here to say hi to you, that great RCA Victor recording star, Mr. Elvis the Cat Presley. Elvis, it's wonderful to have you on our show, buddy.
Thank you, Charlie, for that wonderful build-up and everything. I just hope I can live up to what you just said. I'll be all right.
Well, I guarantee you that the two shows that you did here this afternoon and tonight in San Antonio is proof to us that you'll be here for many, many years to come.
Thank you very much, Charlie. I hope so.
It hasn't been but about 3 months since you was here on...
That's right.
San Antonio before.
About 3 months I was here. But, who was on the show with me then?
Gosh, I can't remember right off, but I know that in that time since you've been here, you've been on so many big shows and so many wonderful things that happened to you. I know that you'd like to tell the folks about it. Of course, we've seen a lot of publicity on it, and I know that I guess one of the outstanding things that has happened is the new movie contract that you have with you.
Yes, I guess actually that's about the biggest thing. Of course, it's a dream come true, you know. Everything, it's something I never think would happen to me, of all people, but it just shows that you never can tell what's going to happen to you in life.
Is that with Paramount?
Yes, it's with Paramount Pictures, and it's a 7-year contract.
7-year contract. Well, that's really wonderful.
I've had people ask me, was I going to sing in the movies? I'm not. Not as far as I know, because I took strictly an acting test, and I wouldn't care too much about singing in the movies. Because,
well, we saw you.
I get enough singing around the country and without it.
We saw you on the Milton Berle television show here recently, and I guarantee you that the job that you did with your dialogue and acting on that show was really wonderful, and I know that you'll do real great in motion pictures as an actor.
Thank you very much, sir, and I'd like to tell you that it's really been a pleasure seeing you again, Charlie, and all these wonderful people here in San Antonio. They really accepted us well here, and we're just thrilled today, and we hope we can keep on pleasing them and giving them things they want to hear.
Elvis, I understand that you received a gold record this week for your Heartbreak Hotel that sold over 1 million.
Yes, that's right. Yesterday, I had a session in Nashville, Tennessee, and they awarded me with a gold record.
We talked with old Jesse Snyder, the RCA Victor man here in San Antonio, and it looks like this album, I believe, is going to be the biggest album seller that RCA Victor has ever had in the history of RCA Victor Records, and that's going to really be something, isn't it?
It really is. It's really great. Actually, I didn't think it would do as well as it had already when we put it out, but it's doing okay.
Elvis, I don't know if you can hear that or not. I think you can, but I doubt if it's picking up on a mic. But outside the window here where we're talking, about 5,000 kids are hollering, "We want Elvis." I wish we could get this. Let me see if we can get this on the microphone here. There it is, Elvis. There's the proof. About 5,000 are standing outside the window here, and we just was lucky enough to get our microphone. Did that pick up all right there, Wayne? Gee whiz, boy, they're hollering like it was this afternoon. It's a regular ride, and I know that a lot of the newspapers here in San Antonio are going to have stories on it tomorrow about the regular riot that was caused here this afternoon. In fact, it was so bad that I don't think you had a chance to do much autographing, did you?
No, I didn't, actually. I hate not to, but if a lot of people start getting hurt, and there's a lot of little bitty kids in the crowd, and they get trampled on and everything, and the police make us quit, you know.
Well, I know that you couldn't possibly have gotten out there and autographed this afternoon because with that many people, and they were pushing and shoving and everything, well, you would have probably gotten killed, and a lot of people that was out there would have, too. And I know that you would have liked to have autographed if you could have possibly gotten out. Well, Elvis, I know that you have a long schedule ahead of you. You've got, I think you go to Corpus Christi tomorrow.
That's
well,
right.
it's today, then this tape is being played, but you're Monday. You're in Corpus. And so we won't take up too much more of your time, but we'd just like to say a million thanks to you and lots of luck to an old Mississippi boy that's doing real great.
Thank you, Charlie.
And keep making those wonderful records, and we'll be looking for that movie when it comes out, and I want to get right on the front row, buddy.
Thank you very much, Charlie, and I'd like to say that the noise people here is me chewing on some ice, I guess. Nothing wrong with a tape recorder. And I'd like to say thank you for all the spins, Charlie, you've been giving me. You've really been a friend to me and everything, and I want you to know that I really appreciate it, and I'll be looking forward to coming back and visiting with you again real soon.
Elvis, do that, and you keep making those great records, and we'll be seeing you, we hope, again real soon.
Thank you very much.
Bye now.
Bye-bye.
TV show for Elvis, national TV, January 28th, 1956, on The Dorsey Show's Stage Show and Elvis.
This is a Jackie Gleason Enterprises production, produced exclusively for Stage Show, starring those fabulous Dorseys, Tommy and Jimmy and their orchestra, and featuring the June Taylor Dancers, with guest stars Elvis Presley, Glenn Derringer, Conderson Brandau, and Jack Leonard. Presented by We Go!
For the show, get ready now, go, can't go, but don't step on my blue suede shoe. Well, you can do anything but lay off of my blue suede shoe. Well, it's blue suede shoes, blue suede shoes, baby, blue suede shoes. You can do anything but lay off of my blue suede shoes.
KDA News. Elvis Presley suddenly dies in Memphis. I'm Anne-Marie Deer. The king of rock and roll, 42-year-old Elvis Presley, suddenly died of what doctors believe was respiratory failure this afternoon. Anita Helk has a complete report from the Baptist Hospital in Memphis.
There are probably several hundred people in front of Baptist Hospital. They all can't believe that Elvis Presley, the king of rock and roll, is dead. It's reported from Maurice Elliott, Vice President of Administration for Baptist Hospital, that Elvis's road manager, Joe Esposito, found Elvis in his bedroom at 2:30 this afternoon, unconscious. Mr. Esposito reported that he found no vital signs at the time, but he immediately began resuscitation efforts, and the Memphis Fire Department ambulance was called. Resuscitation efforts were continued. He arrived at the hospital about 3 o'clock this afternoon, and Baptist Hospital's Special Harvey team, a special team of emergency resuscitation experts, began work on Elvis's body. Their efforts were futile. After about 30 minutes, Dr. George Nicopoulos, Elvis's personal physician for many years, pronounced Elvis Presley dead. Dr. Nicopoulos said that Apparently, Elvis Presley died from a heart attack. An autopsy will be performed. It's reported that there were no indications earlier that Elvis Presley would have a heart attack or any such sudden death. Dr. Nicopoulos said that Elvis was reported feeling well and in good spirits just last night. Dr. Nicopoulos has talked to Elvis's father, Vernon Presley, at his home at Graceland. An autopsy again will be performed. This is Anita Haug at Baptist Hospital.
This W.A. Bailey, Division Manager of South Central Bell in Memphis, has asked for a halt in unnecessary phone calls due to an unusually large number of calls related to the death of Elvis Presley. Bailey said this afternoon, shortly after Presley's death was reported, thousands of admirers were overtaxing telephone facilities. These calls are apparently affecting telephone service throughout Memphis, and he requests cooperation in refraining from making unnecessary calls.